trying to think of something I can say about Prince that hasn't already been said. The guy's amazing. No, I don't want to say that. The guy is amazing. I mean, after all, he writes, sings, and produces all his albums. A lot of his songs have already become pop classics. What does he do for an encore? Turns around, writes, produces, directs, and stars in his own movie, Purple Rain. The guy's phenomenal. If he were as pretty as me, he'd be outstanding. You don't even think about it. Just sit back and relax and enjoy the next number. It's from the soundtrack of the movie Purple Rain, the first single Prince put out, as a matter of fact, from the Purple Rain soundtrack. It's When Doves Cry. It's choreographed by Tari Dobbins. The song is called Going Nowhere Fast. It's choreographed by Nikki Blosky, and here are the Viewettes. smash almost from the day it opened. It rocketed Eddie Murphy into superstar status, and it also helped the Pointer Sisters get a #1 song in the charts as well, Neutron Dance. Choreographed by Sarah McMinn, here are the Viewettes dancing to Neutron Dance. Singing a song for Viewette seniors.
Thank you.
get a spotlight down here. As I read off your name, stand up, get your rightful round of applause. I hope I don't butcher anybody's name. I'll apologize first off. Lola Allison. Terry Anderson. Elizabeth Bassett. Kelly Beatty, or Baby, excuse me. Dee Dee Brookins. Dolly Brown. Julie Bruner. April Eaton. Kathy Edmondson. Sam Gardner. Eric Grimes. Chris Haney. Wow, they're all over the place. Cindy Hernsberger. Max McKinley. Ratane Smith. Mark Spear. Philip Stouts. Dirk Williams. Jimmy Williams. Kyle Wyatt. And Johnny Zachary. And of course, they're under the direction of Mr. Don Wah. Let's have a big round of applause for him. Did a fantastic job on that. Our next number is from my all-time favorite movie, The Wizard of Oz. I love this movie. I will call off sick to see this movie. I'm sure someday I will come back from the dead to see this movie. I love The Wizard of Oz. And I'm not ashamed to say that even at 25 years old, I still cry at the end of The Wizard of Oz. I do! It's terrible! I sit there, Dorothy misses that balloon, I can feel the tears welling up, and I always go out and get a Coke or something like that so I can hide from everybody. Either that or I will sit in front of the TV and say, "Get the balloon! Hurry up, the balloon's leaving! Get the balloon!" Where's Toto after this whole thing? Toto's supposed to be man's best friend. He's out chasing a cat somewhere. If they had Lassie in The Wizard of Oz, Lassie'd at least be tugging on Dorothy's skirt, getting her the balloon. Toto's out chasing cats and then hanging out in little picnic baskets. Never have a dog like that. This is a happy part, though, of The Wizard of Oz. This is the song "We're Off to See the Wizard," and it's choreographed by the 1984-85 Viewette Officers. So please welcome them. We're off to see the Wizard.
Follow the yellow brick road. 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 Follow the yellow brick road.
Let me tell you a little bit about them. This past summer they went to the officers camp, the captain's camp in SMU. They received 2 First Division awards. They were also voted the most admired team in the entire camp, so that's quite an accomplishment as well. Let's give them a hand. Vuettes are 20 years old this year. Started way back in 1964 when they were formed by Helen Rotondo. They began with 54 line members and 4 officers, and the president that year was Melinda Starkey. Now they went on through the years, just picking out a few things. 1966 and 67, the president was Twinkle Locklear. Are there any former Vuettes here? Hopefully Twinkle Locklear. I have to meet Twinkle Locklear sometime before I leave Texas. I love Twinkle Locklear. I like that name. Any other former Vuettes here? No, get a spotlight over here on the former Vuettes. Can we get them over there? Oh, well, you'll see them after the show. Don't worry. Come on down here. The spotlight's down here. Also, some things that happened. Twirl through my notes here. Last year, of course, we had the Viewette Revue from Jazz to Pizzazz. That was my first Viewette show. Janine Brandon became director of the Vuettes last year, and she has done an unbelievable job. She is responsible for what you've seen on stage tonight, and it's been fabulous. She deserves a round of applause as well. The captain last year was Mary Mosley. Miss High Kick was Karen Cunningham. Miss Viewette, Sarah Rutherford. The Northeast Texas Drill Team Competition in Grand Prairie that received 2 First Division awards for Team Prop and Officer Jazz. Mary Mosley won the solo competition. Mary Mosley also was selected to All-American Drill Team, and she traveled to perform in Mexico City. Lieutenant Jeanette Williams was selected to Who's Who at American Drill Team, and of course the Viewette Revue was from Jazz to Pizzazz. Lots of things happened this year, too. The Vuettes got new uniforms. The captain, of course, was Nikki Blosky. Miss High Kick is Valerie Bogue. Miss Viewette, Tari Dobbins. The new Viewette officers, as I told you, traveled to SMU. They received all those awards. The team also did very well, too. During the Miss Texas Drill Team competition, they got 2 sweepstakes awards, 3 First Division ratings in Jazz, Prop, and Kick. The officers received First Division ratings in Jazz, Kick, and Novelty as well. Now, Captain Nikki Blosky and Lieutenant Julie Rigsby were selected to the All-American Drill Team, and they traveled to perform in Acapulco. And Lieutenant Sue Tipton was selected to Who's Who and traveled with Nikki to perform in Dallas. It's been a big year for the Vuettes, kind of rounded out by the Vuettes in Review. Let's have a big round of applause for all the Vuettes and hard work. Well, it's come to that point in the show, kiddies. Joke time. I hope you're ready. You haven't even heard them yet. For instance, do you know the difference between a moron firing squad and a regular firing squad? The morons stand in a circle. The firing squad. Did you hear about the moron who thought manual labor was the president of Mexico? I have neighbors who are morons. That's how I got all these jokes. I mean, believe me, my neighbors are morons. One day, their little high school moron girl came in. Her father was reading the paper. She said, "Dad, I have some bad news for you. I'm pregnant." The father looked up from his newspaper and said, "Are you sure it's yours?" And if there are any members of another drill team in the audience, let this be a warning. From what you've seen tonight, the Longview High School Vuettes are hot, and the heat is on you to match them. Thank you.